Tavares McCurdy, Cameron Hope, LaWanda Elder, and Erica Denma. Give them all a round of applause. I'm sorry, but here we just laugh. Takesha Ellison, I apologize. Cameron, take it away. Oh, and I also ask that when you are speaking, please press the button on your speaker that will actually allow you to project. If we could allow our candidates to introduce themselves.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am Shannon Rose, and I run for District 5 City Commissioner because I have the experience, both the life, the work, and the education. I have a master's degree in public administration. I have a bachelor's degree in business management. I'm a former City of Orlando employee, and I used to work in the economic development department. So I understand the policies, the procedures, and visions that are going on. And as your next representative, I want to hear from you, and I want to work alongside you all to make this a better District 5 where everyone can live, work, and play. I moved into this community, and as a homeowner, I love this community, and I'm raising my son to be here and be a part of this community. Many of you all know him. Again, I'm Shannon Rose, and I run for District 5 City Commissioner, and I look forward to the conversation tonight.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Miles Murray Jr. I'm a local activist, a community organizer. I've been running a nonprofit here for the past 8 years. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, if I do split a little bit, I see what the term. My name is Miles Murray. I'm a local activist. I've been doing community work here for over 8 years. A lot of people associate me with the protests and different things with the social justice movement. But my nonprofit, we've been focusing on housing issues, victims of crime, dealing with social services, youth mentorship, and more. I'm a former member of the Orange County Citizen Safety Task Force, a member of the community crime prevention programs. And really, I want y'all to get to know me. I've been doing this work for a couple of years. I'm from the district, raised here. I even attended Jones, and I'm happy to be back here and be ready to speak and let y'all get to know more about me.
They told us not to stand. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tavares McCurdy. I am the son of Orlando, Florida, Puerto Rican, and Colorado Shores. I served as your Florida State House Representative from 2020 to 2022 during one of the most tumultuous times in Florida's history with the culture wars that took place in Tallahassee. Prior to that, I served as a legislative aide in the Florida Senate to 2 state senators. And I have served as a district aide for the city of Orlando for Commissioner District 5 under Commissioner Hill. I'm someone who is ready on day one. My public policy experience gives me the ability to bring resources that we need here right in District 5. And I'm not asking you to let me so I can push my own agenda. There is some great, wonderful work that was started that we want to see across the finish line. We need somebody who's ready on day one, and I'm that person. This is a critical moment. This is a critical election. And just because you're in critical condition doesn't mean that you can survive. I represent stability. And that's what we need. We need continuity. There are some great things that we want to finish the work. Elect me May 21st, Tavares McCurdy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cameron Hope. I'm 56 years old. I've been a business owner in this community for over 14 years. And the reason I'm here running for City Commissioner District 5 is that we just really need someone in this position that's going to stand up for the community and really bring about change in the community. The number one thing that's needed in District 5 is economic development. You're going to hear me speak about that a lot, and a lot of the issues revolve around that. So with your support of me and running for this position, I hope to be your next city commissioner. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Lauren Jones, and of course I'm running for this position as Orlando City Commissioner District 5. What is about Lamar? Passion, concern, community service, giving a voice to the voiceless, and especially identifying and closing the economic gap. I've been a business owner for 40 years in Orlando, actually in the Carroll community. My family moved here in 1971, so I've been a resident for over 52 years in this community. I just want to say this, I've served on every board you can imagine, on a local, state, and federal level. But what I've learned from that is how do you determine solutions and how do you make a difference in the community. So that's what GELS is all about. Bringing revenues, resources, sharing information, and empowering our community to be better and do better. That's GELS. GELS cares, people always care. It's not about day one. It's about simply, I can always do the work. It's about continuing the work. So, give me an opportunity to serve and be your next commissioner. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Keisha Ellison. I'm a business coach and mentor. I specialize in credit, wealth, and financial freedom. I'm the president of two nonprofits, Leads Truth and Kansas. People come to me to get qualified. Within the last few years, about 5, I have helped people qualify for homes, cars, and apartments by helping them create a budget plan, get their credit together, and also provide them the necessary funding needed to do those things. So if elected, I like to bring something new into District 5 that has not been done. And again, my name is Keisha Ellison.
Good evening, everyone. I do believe in saving the best for last. My name is Erica Dunlap. I'm happy to be here with you all. I am honored to be amongst these community leaders who are looking to solve the critical issues of District 5. I'm not new to District 5. I didn't have to move into District 5 because I was born in District 5. I am a daughter of this community and I stand on the shoulders of greatness. My father, James Dunlap, helped to build this community. And just like he did, cover you, I got you covered as well. I look forward to our conversation this evening.
Panel, take it away.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here. I do want to know before we jump into this, that the questions that we'll mainly be sticking to today did come from voters in District 5, from residents of District 5. Our goal tonight is to ask the questions that you all who said you want answers to, and that's what we'll be sticking to for the most part, I think. And so since we started the introductions down here with Shan Rose, we'll start at the other end with Erica Dunlap, the first question. And it is, homelessness seems to be a growing issue in District 5. How should this be tackled and what's your role in that? Yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak with some men who were sitting at a bus stop by Terry over by the stadium. And they told me the best advice that I think we all can take from this situation, which is to talk to the people directly and not just talk to the people, talk to the homeless population and ask them what it is that they need and what they want. Homelessness is very complex. It's a case-by-case issue. People are homeless for a variety of reasons, and I think it will be important for us to do critical assessments where we're able to effectively figure out exactly how we will compassionately deal with the situation. Homelessness is not something that is exclusive to District 5 or Orlando, and it's something that we all collectively will have to figure out in order to make a meaningful impact.
Ms. Ellison, you are next. And I think you're just gonna, yes, go down the line. The same question? Yes, please. I myself was homeless about 16 years ago, living out of car with my son, and the issue I faced is availability. There were shelters in the district, but they didn't have space. That's something I think that needs to be catered to. I'm not sure if it's funding was an issue, or we need more shelters or more camps in the area. That's what I think needs to be done when it comes to homelessness to help people get off the streets. And healthcare is a thing as well. A lot of people, everyone homeless is on drugs. Some people are sick, they can't afford to go to doctors, and I think that providing the necessary healthcare and funding for more rooms is what we need in District 5 mental homeless.
Hello, houselessness is a serious issue. We refer to it as homeless, but there was a homeless. the growing number of the increased population of houseless is our seniors. They are the largest group that are losing their homes or can't afford special places that were dedicated for them to live. We can continue to talk about this, we can continue to put money to the side, but the bottom line is I have watched where leases have increased over 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and the community is not aware that this is causing a lot of hardship. We can talk about attainable housing, we can talk about affordable housing, but we need to deal with the policies that's creating the largest population today, our seniors. They need to be treated as human beings. Those are the shoulders that we're standing on, and we need to address the issues of mental health and others. But right now, it's a policy issue that's affecting our community when it comes to our seniors and others. We have the dollars, let's do the work.
The homeless issue is not a very complex issue. The reason, the homeless issue in District 5, the reason that we have homelessness, people sleeping on the street in District 5 is because there's basically 3 organizations that either feed the homeless or give them temporary shelter. So first of all, just quite naturally, this needs to be spread amongst the other districts in Orlando. That's first of all. Second of all, the money and funds that are coming in that are allocated towards the homeless, most of it is top-heavy, meaning that they're providing services, but and people are basically getting salaries and getting paid, and if the money's not trickling down to what needs to happen for a person not to be homeless, they need to be provided with shelter. So, we have to work with the city, has to work with these organizations, and we basically, have to have places other than District 5 for these residents to be, fed and temporarily housed, basically. Thank you.
Well, District 5, this is where experience comes as a benefit. Because what we haven't heard is building upon existing established public and private partnerships. This is not an issue that can be solved solely by government alone. And we need to make sure that we're paying attention to the laws that are coming down from Tallahassee. For instance, the new law that's coming down that says houseless population can't sleep on public property. This is an unfunded mandate coming from Tallahassee. Our city budget cannot handle the alleviated costs that's coming with these laws from Tallahassee. So we have to work to strengthen and collaborate with our public and private partnerships that already exist at the city of Orlando. I'm somebody that's ready on day one to take advantage of that because I understand the process.
So, when it comes down to the homeless population, it's very important that we dig deep and actually get to the root. Because when we look at District 5, like some other candidates have said, we see a lot of different shelters placed in District 5. We can't put all the stress in one area to house everybody or provide all the services, but District 5 has been doing it. With that being said, with the homeless population, we got to take a two-pronged approach. We got the people who are on the streets and the people who are one bad paycheck away from being on the streets. So while we're also assisting those who are out there, we also got to keep in mind about where we're placing people in District 5 and where the housing is taking place. I don't believe the city can solve everything. I won't get up here and sell and tell that we can, but I do believe the city has funds that can go to services that are being provided, whether it's transitional housing, shelters, or places that are not just in District 5. So I believe we got to spread the issue out, we got to dig deep, build on existing ones, but we also got to think outside the box because we're not going to solve this issue by just throwing people in jail or just making more shelters. We got to make sure we get to the root cause also.
Homelessness is not a one-size-fits-all situation. It's very complex. There have been a lot of great programs that have happened. What we do need to do is hold the other municipalities around Central Florida accountable. District 5 is the only region, and again, we are the only, in the Paramount communities, we are the only ones with a homeless shelter. Osceola County and the others do not have one. So as your next commissioner, I'm committed to continue to work with the other counties because I sit on several organizations such as Brightway where we're working on addressing the day-to-day issues. We have to look at long-term mental health facilities because there are individuals who are getting wraparound services that are continuous increases the services that are needed. We have to work on getting people housed, and we have to work on transitional housing for those individuals who are coming off the street, get them jobs, and get them to work.
All right, thank you very much. Going hand in hand with the issue of homelessness is the issue of affordable housing, and we've got a lot of questions from residents in this district about affordable housing. I think everyone acknowledges it's a serious problem, but we want to know what specifically do you think the city should be doing to increase affordable housing options in the city? And this time we'll start with you, Ms. Ellis.
Could you repeat the last part of that?
Yes, ma'am. What specifically do you think the city should be doing to address the issue of affordable housing?
So the affordable housing isn't really affordable when they have to prove that they need 3 times the rent. Also, credit comes in place when it comes to that. The credit needs to be a certain score, and they can't have certain depth on their credit. That's where I think the resources that I can provide come in at. I will provide the necessary resources to get that credit where it should be. Also, when it comes to affordable, there needs to be a policy in place for rent control. There's no way that a 1-bedroom can cost someone $2,500. There's no way that rent can constantly increase every year without even notice sometimes. Sometimes they're giving less than a 30-day notice. So I think a policy needs to be in place for rent control.
Thank you. Ms. Gelson.
Attainable housing is a serious issue. We say affordable, but when the median income for individuals qualifying is $30,000, and recently you all saw that you need to make at least $106,000, a lot of us are not going to qualify for housing. It's taking 4 to 5% above what we make, about 50% of our salaries. I have proposed, and I will continue to propose, that we cannot just look at this from a traditional housing. We need tiny homes, we need modular homes. So the first thing I would do as the next commissioner is change the ordinance to allow these things. Then I will follow up with accountability. We have put funding in the city for projects, yet we're not waiting to see that people rent is increasing every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, but yet we gave them the money. So that's why I continue to ask for a forensic audit to look at how money has been spent over the years and make sure when we give the money and we allocate it, we get what we're paying for to attainable housing for everybody.
Affordable housing is a sensitive issue, but District 5, we cannot affordable house our way out of our issues. We definitely, for the residents that are here, things like rent controls and things of that nature need to be in place. But we have to look at some of the negative things that come along with affordable housing. And if you're going to increase affordable housing only in District 5, we're just going to continue to put stress in this area, in this district. It's a burden on our tax bracket. A lot of times when developers are allowed to build affordable housing projects, they get tax incentives, so that takes away from funding for our schools and our education for our kids. Some people think that affordable housing, it brings more crime to the area and things of that nature. And also for our residents that own property in District 5, it keeps property value down. We do need to find solutions for people that's all I have to say. I can't speak enough.
As somebody who really cares for this district, I can't sit here and act like as if we haven't seen projects in recent times from the past administration that is addressing the housing, affordable housing crisis. We sit right across from Donna. We look at Creative Village, but obviously there's more work to be done. And I'm not going to scare anyone tonight, but again, all of the issues that we face here in District 5 would not be solved at 400 South Orange Avenue at City Hall. You need someone who has relationships. I'm someone on this panel, the only person on this panel who does not have to work to establish relationships that already exist because of my work for you as your state representative. Now, in Tallahassee, we have what we call the Sadowski Housing Fund. And they're continuously sweeping this fund, and that is putting more pressure on local municipalities' budget to address these crises. We have an obligation as your city officials to lobby our legislative delegation for them to do the right thing in Tallahassee so that we can offer more options here at home.
Okay, although I know that all problems cannot be solved here at the city level, I'm going to speak to you on what I would do if I was elected to be commissioner. I grew up in District 5. I'm a product of affordable housing, a person who lived in housing projects here. What we have seen have been new mixed housing projects that have brought to District 5, which are great. I'm not knocking that development, but at the end of the day, when you look at District 5, if you have a district that used to be solely occupied by people who are fixed income or income restrictions that were only building fixed income properties, then we're not serving all the residents. I do believe we have to keep building, but I do believe we have to also work on that. For the ones who are seniors, the disabled veterans, the ones who will never make 3 times the rent, we gotta make sure we're thinking of them. So when we're dealing with developers, we gotta make sure that their incentive is also to help the community and not to just line their pockets. The commissioners have done great in the past, but as the next commissioner, my job would be to make sure that developers who come here are only for the community and want to make sure they have affordable housing along with other developments that are taking place in District 5.
As your next District 5 City Commissioner, there's a few things in place. So, we're fighting for what's called inclusionary zoning, which means when private developers come and put apartments anywhere in the city of Orlando, we ask them for a certain percentage of affordable units. What that does is that places is jobs. And so I'm committed to revamping the Blueprint Project where we have opportunities to help people upskill. When you get people jobs and you get people to increase their income, then they can afford to live. As your next District 5 City Commissioner, I will also work to transitional housing and increase affordable housing. Live Local Act was created last year during legislation, and we've got to work to talk to our developers who are coming and build a strong private-public partnership.
Thank you. We'll finish back up with Ms. Dunlap.
Thank you. Tonight you're going to hear a lot of the candidates mention that they're the only. But I assure you that I am the only candidate who is actually a board chairperson for an affordable housing organization. I'm proud to represent the Orlando Neighborhood Improvement Corporation, and what we do is ensure housing and affordable housing for over 3,000 residents in the Central Florida area. 3 of our properties happen to be in District 5. I'm very committed to solving affordable housing as much as possible. One of the things that I think would be very key for you to know is that affordable housing is something that we all have to work together in order to solve. One of the things I would like to see the city of Orlando do is to implement max capacity of all new development, ensuring that we have as much affordable housing in those mixed use developments, and ensuring that we have as much as possible available for workforce housing as well.
When I think we were selecting our question style, I realized he set me up for my question. So, considering we were talking about housing, there's also the business community. And sometimes the business community doesn't always fall in line with some of the rent control measures and some of those things that you all were speaking to. So how would you balance the needs of the community in your neighborhood versus the needs of the business community? Mr. Cameron, we'll start in the center with you since we started at both ends of the table.
Sure. You're going to zone certain areas that they're business areas, and you try to keep those out of the residential areas as much as possible. But businesses are very important to District 5, like they are to any other district. We need to have businesses coming into the area that are going to basically employ people from the area, that they're going to be employing people at a wage that's above a livable wage. I think that that's very important. We don't have enough of that in District 5, and we definitely need to have more areas zoned for businesses and certain businesses that the residents can benefit from because they're earning higher wages. Thank you.
It's basically having an open door policy, which I always have had, because you need inclusivity on conversations like this. You need residents, you need the business community, you need everybody to have a seat at the table. I say oftentimes a lot of people talk too much to you and not with you. And that's why I have pledged in my first 100 days to visit every community in District 5 so I can hear the needs, concerns, and wishes of this district for myself. But it's very important, I did mention in my opening, that my primary role now is managing small business development for the Greater Orlando Aviation Authority, which is the fourth largest airport in the United States. So I have a listening ear for it and a heart and an understanding of the needs of the business community as well. So you get a trifecta in me, somebody who is experienced, somebody who's ready, and somebody who can serve you with the knowledge of business, residents, and the community at large.
Yeah, I believe business is very important. I've been running a business for over 8 years, and doing an LLC and nonprofit is not easy. When it comes to District 5, business is always going to drive the district. Business owners are the ones who bring the jobs, they're the ones who bring the traffic. Even when it comes to tourism, they're the ones who are going to keep people in the district. It's important to raise them up. Me, if I was elected commissioner, my biggest goal would be to get them accessibility to what's going on. There are developments taking place from behind the scenes to what is actually done. If you take a look at the news and see all the different developments coming downtown, we have venues being built, we have different clubs and hotels bringing dark bars to the district. These are times when people who are in District 5 will get a chance at the door. A person who's connected to the ground, a person who cares, a person who will go above and beyond to make sure that they help that person get certified, help them get the runaround so they can actually get applied and get the information that they need. That's what we need in District 5. That's what I'm committing myself to. I've been working with companies for almost a decade, bringing them to the city, bringing them to opportunities, and also making sure that it gets out there through forums and other public ways.
So there's a few things. When I was working at the city of Orlando, we've got to do more charrettes, and as your next District 5 city commissioner, we have to talk to the residents, we have to talk to the business owners, we have to hear from individuals to find out what is it that we need. So we definitely need the voice, we need the pharmacy. But those things are based on economics. We have to increase our income. We have to work on getting individuals trained to get jobs, to be able to work, and to be able to afford certain businesses. Publix has been trying, we've been trying for a long time to get a standing grocery store in this community, but it's the economics doesn't support it. So within District 5, we got to work to increase the income here. As a business owner, the shows, talking to people, we're going to have real life conversations, and I'm committed to having workshops where we talk to individuals. Connecting people and communicating to this district is going to be what it's going to take. So I'm not campaigning just to be a District 5 commissioner. After I'm elected, I'm going to continue to campaign the same way. Talk to the businesses, talk to the people, and let people know what resources are available and how you can connect and how you can be the business owner that you like.
Yes, Ms. Hills, go ahead.
As a business owner for 40 years, I'm in the CRA zone, downtown development zone, the HUD zone. I'm in Paramount, and I've been there a long time servicing the community. The question was the effect when it comes to housing. The effect is, it has been a negative effect, especially with the new law, because they're not on public property, they're on private property now. And it's unfortunately a thing that we're dealing with. So the effect has been negative and positive. However, what I would like everybody to understand that the answer is finding additional funding to make sure that we can make sure that the community and the people that are houseless are treated like human beings and not just a number and not just a dollar. That's the most important thing. And working with the business owners. Because if you talk to me, I can give you some ideas.
Just like was mentioned earlier, I don't think that it will be effective unless we all work together. The people living in the community and the business. The business is nothing without the community. That's why I myself, I have been an entrepreneur for 5 years. I hired within the community. For my finance company, I currently have 18 people on my team that's working with me. I'm providing more income into their homes. If they're able to bring in more income, they're able to qualify and afford these homes.
I believe one of the best ways to balance the neighborhoods with the business community is to, again, listen to what the neighborhoods want and need, but also listening to the needs of the business owners. And so one of the needs that a lot of business owners have is A, access to capital, and B, workforce. And so helping to shorten the labor shortage would be very key in my administration as commissioner. And I believe that the best way to balance that is, again, to listen to our neighborhood homeowners, our neighborhood leadership, and then also listening to business owners to ensure that they have what they need in order to be successful and to stay in profit.
Ms. Johnson. The question, when you get your discretionary, thank you. When you get your discretionary funds, how will you use them to help District 5 residents as well as the organizations?
Each commissioner has over $100,000 in their discretionary fund. I think there was an increase of probably $130,000. What I would do is use those dollars not for travel, not for book bags, not for fish fries, but to look at not a study, but the implementation of what our real needs are, and go back and evaluate. But the one thing I would do with those dollars is make sure there's programs for our seniors and our youth. So that's those are the two things I would do with discretionary fund. And the other thing I would do is I would continue to say, we need a forensic audit, so I would do a forensic audit, and I would meet with each of the department heads to make sure if there's something they're lacking in their budget, how can I make up the difference with that small amount of money? Or can we partner to find other funds and write grants and do other things to increase that?
I plan on using these funds for some of the things that the prior commissioner did, giving back to the community, most of them to the families that need things pertaining to the youth, like the book bag giveaways and things like that. But I also want to implement a chess league for the youth in the communities, through the community centers, buying chess boards and having, I'm going to have a chess player and having mentors come out and teach the kids in the community about chess. Just things of that nature that are just giving back to the community that are going to benefit the community for the youth and the seniors, like Ms. Gales said. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you what I've already done. I've already provided food for thousands of families throughout this district. I provided thousands of COVID vaccines for seniors and youth for this district during the height of COVID. So these are things that I've already done. So to have a little more money to do it, I welcome it, because I've got no discretionary money as a state lawmaker to do these things. So I found partnerships. I went out and I searched and I saw resources to bring back to my community. So having a fund for this is just an addition for you all. But what I plan to do with the funding is filling the gaps and meet the needs. I told you about my first 100 days going around to all the neighborhoods, and this is not my money. This is the people's money. And if we were talking about my Chase bank account, then you can ask me what I plan to do with it. But I don't plan to do anything that you don't intend for me to do.
I actually feel very similar to what Mr. McCurdy said. Me personally, I've been doing a nonprofit for 8 years, almost virtually unfunded. So when it comes to making a lot happen with a little, I'm a little stranger to that game. Even when it comes to any discretionary funds, my whole sole purpose would be to put that back into things that invest into the community. Things like workshops that lead to certifications for businesses. Things like giveaways that lead to people getting sponsored for stuff that are very crucial. One of my biggest passions is about rent, and the rent that's going up crazy on people. I would love to invest that into ways to find that we can actually come up with something that's solvable, because rent control, I fought for that years ago as an activist. It's not easily attainable at the city level. But what we can do is put that money towards investing in the community, put it towards projects, put it towards scholarships, making sure that we improve it, because that money, like Mr. McCurdy said, it is in mine. It's only going to go to the district, and it's only going to be accountable and transparent for everybody to see.
What I can say is that Commissioner Hill did a really good job representing District 5, and so I will look at the programs that she has already been supporting during her tenure as the commissioner. There's a lot of gaps, and I'm going to be willing to fill in those gaps and find additional funds, be able to work with the private entities and the private businesses so we can build upon that. We can't mitigate the fact that we can't come in here with great ideas, Commissioner has built a legacy, and I'm committed to continuing that legacy and doing more, working with you all in this room. Those who felt that their voices wasn't heard, that's what you're going to get me. Someone who is going to work, who's going to figure out what is it that was missing, how can I help? I'm going to work with Commissioner Hill to say, what was it that you needed help in, and what areas that we can work together to make this the best District 5 in.
So again, I'm very concerned about connecting our community to opportunity as much as possible, and I believe that my executive leadership experience will allow for us to be able to do that. And so with discretionary funds, I think it would be, I have a lot of wonderful ideas. I have a vision for myself and what I would like to see implemented. Again, it would be critical for me to hear from the public and hear from District 5 specifically as to what the needs are and what would be useful. But some things I want you to keep in mind. I would like to implement scholarships for various trade opportunities and making sure that we have job skills and skills training for young men and women to ensure that they have better quality of life and higher paying jobs. I also would like to see beautification implemented as senior apartments specifically to ensure that they're able to live out their golden lives in the most beautiful way possible.
Issue is money and not being afford anything. The honest truth is these jobs doesn't pay enough. Like others said, I want to bring skill shops in. That's why I started Blues Truth. Not everyone wants to go to college, but that's why I think I want to bring programs in where the youth and adults can come through and where they're going to become an electrician, hairstylist, CNC machinist, plumber. I want to provide that as a service and opportunity for them. Another thing I like to do with the funding is bring more funding for home improvement for the elderly. There are people who still have trees on their homes from hurricane that happened years ago. They haven't got it removed because they can't afford to have it removed. So I will pour funding into that.
All right, I believe this next question goes to Ms. McCurdy first. What do you believe to be the biggest unmet need in District 5?
I think the biggest unmet need right now is unity. We need to come together as a community to address the issues that we have right now. We can't do anything without collaboration and with partnership. We need our communities to know each other. We look at our youth right now. We have youth living in various neighborhoods and that are fighting and hurting each other right now. So as adults, we have an obligation to be examples to our future generations. Obviously, when we talk about seniors and housing and infrastructure, it's all tied in together. But one thing that I noticed is we need to make sure that our senior population have I would like to see more of them having their affairs together so that we can protect our homes and residences. We know that land ownership is the gateway to generational wealth, and I think that's something very important. People want to throw out the word gentrification, and a lot of times we aid in our own gentrification because we don't have our affairs in order. So.
I'll try to do this possible. Like everything else, I believe is always systemic. You can't just say one thing and that just hits it on the head. But one thing I can say is that it comes down to the money. The money is the biggest part that's the gap in District 5. When you compare District 5 to other districts, it's a big financial gap, whether it's from income, whether it's from the income tax that's generated, or whether it's from what's actually taking place with the affordable housing and the issue that's going on. I don't think the commission can solve all that. I don't think they can individually fix it all, but what I do think the commission can do is work to bring more programs that benefit the district, work to bring more development for youth, work to bring more contracts and local business owners in the area, making it more accessible. You have to have somebody who's going to try everything, because to get up here and say that I have a plan right now that will fix it, I need to talk to the former commissioner, I need to talk to the other commissioners, I need to find more solutions and we need to apply them, because we can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if we want to change the gap, we want to fix it, we need to bring new programs, new developers, new opportunities, and make sure that we give District 5 the same attention as everywhere else.
The number one problem facing District 5 right now is representation. Obviously, District 5 is missing someone that's going to sit at the dais. So as your next District 5 commissioner, I'm committed to hearing from you all. As a former city City of Orlando employee, I have the experience, the relationships from day one to go in. I do not have to learn the job. I'm committed to creating programs and working with our youth and working with our seniors. So we're sitting in District 5. District 5 has 4 schools that most people don't recognize. We have OCPS Technical School, we have FAMU Law School, we have UCF, we have 2 Valencia campuses. And so connecting individuals to jobs and resources to be able to live in this district, my goal is to create a district that everyone can live, work, and play in. You go to school, you learn, you create, you increase your income, and you can be able to enjoy the amenities here, the days here. Be able to go out and enjoy your family.
I see one of the biggest unmet needs in District 5 as being consistent civic engagement. And when I see tonight's room, this is beautiful. I'm so glad that all of you are here. I'm so glad that all of you want to be present and listen. But we've had 4 forums this week. And this being the 4th one, I knew that it would be the biggest one, but sadly, some of the other ones, like last night was fantastic. We had a great conversation, a great debate. I wish that there were more people there. I wish there were more people online. So I believe consistent civic engagement is one of the things that District 5 needs a lot more of, and that's something that we all can do. And additionally, voting. Voting is so very critical. I'm asking each and every one of you, if you are here as a voter in District 5, please take the time to make a decision and take the time to go and vote on May 21st.
Just like mentioned from the others, I think that one of the biggest issues is we don't support each other enough. I've talked to other entrepreneurs who have mentioned how their business has failed because they're not getting the support they need from the people that's living in the community like them. We need to support one another. That's how we're going to come out of this financial burden. We need to provide resources to another. Everyone may not know how to get access to funding or to get their rent paid up programs that they come out for months at a time. We need to be able to communicate and support another.
To me, the most unmet need is funding and the proper allocation to District 6. You can talk about all the 3 venues that we have. We can talk about the university, the Valencia, or the FAMU. We can talk about that, but we do not get our fair share of the taxes. However, one thing I have learned is that's
It's really important that you get with your neighbors, with the community. This is important. This seat is not, so many people are watching these candidates, and what I understand is from knocking on probably over 5,000 doors throughout my campaign, one of the things that the community wanted someone they can trust, someone that has their best interests at heart. So look at these candidates, listen to what they're saying, look at their track record, what they have done in the community, that's important, and pray about it, and make sure that you, in your heart, vote for the best candidate. Thank you all for allowing me the opportunity, and thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Past Commissioner of District 5, and I celebrate all these candidates. I came to say that we must vote. You cannot sit at home, no matter who your candidate is. I think the answers that you got, I want to applaud each of you all for stepping up during this time, where to become the interim commissioner. District 5 is a very, very important district. When we start talking about economic development, housing, homelessness, and everything that's going on in the city, it is the epicenter of the city. So this is a very important role that one of you all are going to assume. There's a lot of great work to be done. My only ask is that you stabilize the district, do what's best for the people, and serve, and make sure that you work with the commissioners, make sure that you work with staff, make sure that you work with the mayor, because District 5 has came a long way. It was built by public-private partnership, and if you continue in that vein, the best is yet to come. Good luck to each and every one of you all.
Good evening.
I'm Senator Geraldine Thompson, and I represent this community in the Florida Senate. I am also a candidate for re-election to Senate District 15. I'm the founder of the Wellsville Museum of African American History and Culture, which is in District 5. And when we're talking about the complex that's coming downtown, you should not feel that you're in a third world country when you cross Division Street.
Good evening. My name is State Representative LaVon Mercy Davis. I'm here to proudly represent House District 40, which includes Pine Hills, Ocoee, Lockhart, College Park, Mercy Drive, the Fairgrounds, Claricona. And I'm so thankful to be here today. I was here just to listen. I did some work in the Florida legislature with Commissioner Regina Hill, bringing back resources, specifically to Paramore Kids Zone. We created Orlando Kids Zone, that expanded Paramore Kids Zone, and Mercy Drive Kids Zone. So I was here to listen because a part of my district includes District 5. So I'm excited to be here. I'm so excited to see so many people here. And while I am here to listen, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I also am a candidate. I finished my freshman session. I spent time in Tallahassee fighting the powers that be. I'm not ashamed to say it. I did, that part. So with that in mind, don't forget LaVon Mercy Davis, a name you know and the values you trust and the future you deserve. Thank you so much.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Glenn Gilzine. I'm your new supervisor of elections. And I'm here just to let you know that as you get ready to cast your ballot, it will count. We will do everything humanly possible to make sure that your voice is heard. Just today, I announced that I put over $1 million into voter education and voter outreach program, and that was due. And that's due because the community came and sat down with me and said, Glenn, this is the things that we need. And I heard and we took action. So with that said, kudos to the candidates, right? Keep it above board as you guys do all the time, and we will make sure that everybody's voice is heard. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Vicki Elaine Felder, and I serve as District 5 of the town of resides. I sit on Orange County Public School Board, and I want you to know that this beautiful place in the city is a part of my district, Jones High School. I want to thank you for your vote of confidence. I sat on the board for the last 4 years, and I'm up for re-election. I look forward to your vote. I want to say this, I'm very proud for the first time in the times that there were school grades to go out. This year, 23-24 was the first time District 5 had no D's, no F's, only A's, B's, and C's. I'm so thankful for the teachers and the parents. We just acknowledged some people that are community workers at the board meeting tonight who have been pouring in to District 5 and to the schools, the Leach Firm, the Citrus group with A.C. Collins and Walter Hawkins, who has done some things with Jones High Historical Society. This is a wonderful district. And so to the candidates, I wish you well. District 5 is a great district to be in. It really is. So I wish you well, and as was said to you earlier, you pour into the people and let them know that you care and do your best, because it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fruitful. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to more support. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Hello. I do not live in District 5. I actually live in Palm City, Florida. My name is Stanley Campbell, and I am your candidate for the United States Senate. My name is Alex Scott, and I'm going to be here. So I actually have come to probably 3 of these types of events. Coming here, I probably know all but one person on this, so I'll have to guess which one I don't know. I've been coming to Orlando probably since I was maybe 5 or 6 years old.
And I can tell you, the district that you have here is a one of a kind. It is an absolute model to what the citizens should be, and you should all be proud to be here tonight. I can tell you, you have a pretty tough slate. I would not want to run against anybody on this panel, but what I can tell you is, please vote. Vote now, vote August 20th, vote November 5th, because we have to vote and we have to win. So thank you all for having me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you to our electeds and candidates in the room. Now we have some questions from our community. While the current seat has become an open one, the current commissioner has made some great change and met the community at their level. How will you continue the grassroots engagement with the District 5 constituents? Ms. Rose, start with you.
So as I stated earlier, I will continue to run, as your district commissioner, I will continue to run the campaign the same way. Engage with the residents, engage with the businesses, engage with the neighborhood associations. My first 100 days, I want to have a charrette in this community. I want to be able to let your voices be heard, and let's work on a plan together. I don't have all the answers, and if I sit here and I tell you what I want, what I will do, I'm not hearing from you all. So I want to have a charrette where we can sit down. I was at the city of Orlando, I worked on several plans. So we worked on the nighttime economy study, where we brought in the businesses, we brought in the nightclubs, and we said, how do we create a safer downtown? Since I've been in this community, I've been doing the work. In 2019, I reached out to transportation and I said, our students, I mentor kids in the Fairmore community. And my students, my mentees, they come across the street and cross OBT. So I reached out to transportation and said, I need to study on how to make sure our kids get to school safe here at Jones High School. They have thus implemented a lot of the programs, and they have more work to do, including redoing Rio Grande. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm committed to it.
Well, simply put, when I started doing this work, I started a forum called Let Your Voice Be Heard Community Forum back in 2016, because what I saw taking place was, we got city council meetings, we got county council meetings, during the time that we all working. We needed something that was after hours, something that was virtual, something that was accessible. That's nothing different than what I'm doing if I ran and became a commissioner. What I've been doing right now is the same thing I've been doing for 8 years. We've been doing meetings in the neighborhoods, we've been going door to door, and we're going to continue to keep doing this. The biggest thing about the grassroots movement is actually being in the neighborhood, going to the people there, and connecting with them, not just speaking to them, but speaking with them. So let the commissioner, what I would really want to bring is more virtual access, more ways for people to get involved without having to come to the city council meeting and fill out paperwork. And I want to make it more grassroots led, when people come into us, bringing their problems, and we making solutions right on the spot, instead of making you have to make an appointment. I'm full of people that want to change. It's not an act. I'll be doing this either if I'm getting elected or not. You'll see me in your neighborhood. I guarantee you that.
Well, being that this is an interim role, it is very important that we have some stability and continue to build upon the legacy that Commissioner Hill has. We have some award-winning neighborhoods in District 5, especially when you talk about our national night out events. That is something that we want to continue to build to make sure that we have safer and stronger united neighborhoods. That's absolutely important. But outreach, as I mentioned earlier, in my first 100 days, going around to all the neighborhoods in District 5. I don't know any more outreach that you do than that. But what's also important when you talk about outreach is accessibility and availability. So when you make yourself available to the residents and they feel inclusive in this process, I think it's a win-win for both the community and myself, so we can continue to work together with the ongoing commission in this interim role to make sure that we can continue to advance the legacy for District 5. So outreach is something that I already do in my role with small business development. That is a transferable skill that I already know day one. I'll keep reiterating.
Yes, when I assumed the office of city commissioner, I plan to implement my 70-30 rule. And I spend 30% of my time in the office doing my duties there and along with the city council. The 70% will be spent in the community, making sure, number one, that there's transparency, that the community always understands what's going on in City Hall. Number two, to make sure that our plan is being implemented. that, you know, we're going along with that plan and that all our goals are being met. And if they are being met, then what we need to do is strategize to make sure that when I go back in there to spend those 30% of my time in there, that we're actually, you know, sticking to the plan and making the changes that are necessary. So yes, that's what I plan on doing when I get in office.
One moment before the next person speaks. If we could lower the volume in the room, it's a bit difficult for the front row and the back rows to hear, so if we can bring it down a bit, that'd be great. Go ahead, Lauren.
Can you please repeat the question?
How will you continue the grassroots engagement with District 5 constituents?
Continue is a beautiful word. We've been doing it a long time. But the one thing I would want to continue is expanding on the downtown area and making sure we deal with the health disparities and making sure that we close that equity gap. So civic engagement is something I speak all over the country about, but true partnerships is something I would definitely want to do. I see several partners in the room, the Central Florida Black Nurses Association, Rollins College, UCL, and now FAMU is working with us. I would like to continue making sure we partner to bring additional funds to our district and make sure we close the equity and health disparity gap.
My response is quite simple. I will continue to do what I'm doing now by uplifting and supporting those who live in the community and hiring within. Hiring within is a thing that I want to keep going within the community so my people that's living in the community will come out of this financial burden that they're facing.
Most recently, the Westlake Partnership hosted a playdate at Lake Murphy Park, and that was a very successful day. And I think it's something that we need a little bit more of. Oftentimes, we talk about the problems, the issues, the plight, but sometimes we need to have a little bit of fun. Y'all need to lighten up a little bit. All y'all in here so serious, looking at us all hard. We need to play. We need to play this game. We need to have fun. We need to enjoy being neighbors. We need to enjoy being residents of this beautiful place. And Lake Murphy Park is one of the things I'm very proud that Commissioner Hill was able to complete because it is just a wonderful space that now residents are able to feel comfortable as they go throughout the downtown area over to the west side. They can enjoy the amenities, and that's exactly what I would do as your commissioner. Continue to allow us to have a little fun.
Next question. How specifically do you intend, how specifically do you plan to help local small businesses thrive? And we'll start with Ms. Dunn at the other end.
Sure, so I'm currently in the cohort for the African American, Central Florida African American Chamber of Commerce, and our cohort is with 15 business leaders of all different industries, all different ranges of income level. And what I really love about the program is that I am learning firsthand from this exemplary organization exactly how to help other business leaders to keep their business in profitability and keep them thriving so that they can be sustainable. And so I would like to continue to implement that program, implement scholarships, and making sure that people, other business owners, are able to go into programs similar so that we can have fully viable businesses that are supported and feel as though they can actually make it year to year.
My plan is to help local business thrive to do what I've already been doing. I'm also a grant writer. I want to bring in that, I'm going to say that knowledge in. I want to teach grant writing. Loans, they're great. I've helped the entrepreneurs get loans as well, but grant writing is where it's at, so they don't get more in debt by taking out loans that they can't afford to pay back. So I will teach the upcoming local entrepreneurs how to write their own grants, how to market to their target audience, how to build business plans so they don't get in, so their business don't have loss, they have more of a profit than loss. So that's what I'll do.
This is what my
consulting service is all about. So I work for for-profit, nonprofits, and B corporations. We talk about grants, opportunity, but contract opportunity. We help them with their federal funding, with their available funds, what kind of policies and procedures they need to have in place. I will continue to do what I've always done, because economics is what I do. That's what I'm making it. Economics and mathematics. It doesn't trickle down. It don't trickle down. You need to have the skill set to go out there. And it's amazing how much money we collectively leave on the table. Believe in yourself. I'll work with you, and let's make sure we have successful businesses in our community. I'll say this in closing. During COVID, the most businesses were started by African American women. We can do this, and the opportunities is out there. Just share the information, and I will never get information more. I will give it to you.
There's 4 things that are very important to small businesses. Number 1, location. Number 2, marketing. Number 3, funds. And number 4, support. So from my position as city commissioner, I make sure that small businesses have those resources, the best resources available to make sure that these businesses thrive. You know, we have to remember, the main thing, we have to support the businesses. We have to bring business development to Orlando, and with our small businesses, we have to have an area for them to be in and grow and thrive. So, you know, as a city commissioner, I'll make sure that's my duty to make sure that the small businesses thrive and develop in the area.
Well, tonight I have come with receipts because this past February, I hosted a town hall forum with Commissioner Hill about the EDC and the other events that happen at the venues that are all housed in District 5 to help local small businesses understand the process of how to become a member. And it's very important that you have somebody that understands what to do, and it's not waiting until after May 21st to do it, because I've been doing it. We also should look for business incentives to incentivize our local businesses. And when we look to bring new businesses to District 5, we shouldn't always have to look outside, but grow the ones that are here. We should also look for mentor protege programs for small and larger businesses to pair together. We have to talk about insurance and learning, because people won't talk about that when you're a new business owner, and talk about the costs that's associated with insurance and learning. So, and lastly, returning citizens are people too. They need jobs, they need employment. Nobody's talking about them. We have to talk about our returning citizens because they're part of our community as well.
Well, really, when it comes down to small businesses, that's a main focal point when it comes to the district. We got all this development taking place and all this growth. And I'm a firm believer if it's not broke, don't fix it. One thing that Commissioner Hill done, and I very much applaud, was have workshops in local community centers for businesses and for people to get certain trades so they can take advantage of the stuff that was going on. I believe we gotta continue that, having stuff in the centers, not just at the city hall, not just in somewhere they got it online, but right there by Highway, right there by their next door. Come out and you can see it at the center, at the post, wherever they go. I also think it's very important that when we know this development is going on, like we spoke about the Magic Complex, we need to be bringing in the local business owners we know, bring them in the room, and making sure they got the certification to get it, or they at least got a chance and a shot at getting that contract. So I think it's important to have small businesses involved, and also ask them, survey them. This technology is available. Let's use it to give them access to us so that they know what's going on, and they have a plan for that. So one of my plans are to host bi-monthly workshops for small businesses, making it virtual and making it in remote places.
While I was at the city of Orlando, I heard the news of the business owners. So as everyone knows, the soccer stadium was built, which damaged a lot of the revenue and economic opportunities for the businesses that are on Church Street. So what I was able to work on and create, which ultimately implemented, was rental assistance for businesses. It didn't go through at first because we found loopholes, but during COVID, it was implemented, and that was something that we did. As the current CRA executive director for the town of Eatonville, I have worked to address the needs of the businesses in the community. We have business assistance programs. I know what the funds are on the state level and federal level, and as your next commissioner, I'm going to work to make sure that the businesses in this community are protected. We're having workshops and conversations about entrepreneurship. We're teaching people and we're educating people, and we're reaching one and teaching one to be able to help those and encourage those that want to become business owners.
Thank you so much. We're going to call this a lightning round question. Yes or no? Do you favor term limits for the mayor or city commissioners? Takesha will start with you.
Yes, I think there should be term limits in place. We need to see what can be done before we just give someone that space to keep going without seeing what they have already done. We need proof, not just them running because they're popular or selected because they're popular. So I'm against it.
Yes, I do, and about 15 years ago, we tried our best to get term limitation. If it's good for the state, good for the governor, good for the president, it should be, and Orange County government and local places, it should be good for us. We need to have new people coming in with new ideas, and that's the most important thing. So yes, I do support term limitation, and I fought for it 15 years ago, and I'll stand on it today. It's important.
No, I don't support term limits. I think the voters, if they're not happy with the leadership, they have the right to change the leadership at any given time. When you're a city commissioner, you're working hand in hand with partners and developers on projects that can take, up to 10 years. So, to come to fruition. So no, I don't support it.
No, I don't. This is the term limits. We have the opportunity to go in and out who we like. We have an opportunity starting on Monday, May 13th. We have an opportunity May 21st to vote me as your city commissioner. So this is your opportunity right here, depending on where you vote in your ballot. This is all the term limits you need.
I'm gonna say truthfully, I support term limits, but I do understand that sometimes people get the work done. Myself, I would not have been running if this wasn't taking place with this interim race. I didn't have an issue with the past administration. I worked with the past administration and I would have supported it continually. The problem is that if you have bad people in office, you gotta vote them out. So you don't get a term limit to do that necessarily, but I do think that a term limit is set because no one should be a career politician. They should only do their job and get out and give it to the next generation.
I do not support term limits because we can look at our communities and look at it takes years, sometimes decades to get stuff done. While I was at the city of Orlando, we worked on a community redevelopment plan where we talk about what's the vision, where are we going, and those are usually 10, 20, 30-year plans. So ensuring that we have the right leadership in place, it makes someone continue to work and continue what they started, working on the plans, working with the people. The voters are the ones who determine who comes in and who goes out. In 2020, the United States of America was not happy with their current elected, so they found someone else. So election and voting is important to change it if you don't like this in office.
It is good to see the lightning round. I would simply answer, yes, I do support term limits.
Thank you so much. And as we get to our last question, I'm actually going to ask that you make this a 2-for-1 and combine your closing. Explain how you are going to get more than 12% of this community to vote. Well, sorry, go ahead.
Could you repeat that, please?
Explain how you are going to get more than 12% of this community to vote. And please combine your closing.
This is very hard because I spoke on it before. One thing about the city of Orlando elections, it was moved from March, like all municipalities, into November, and that itself reduced voter turnout. So how do I increase it? I've done everything I possibly could do. I've educated, I've talked, I've shared information. I'm hosting a town hall meeting next Wednesday. I'm doing disaster resilience as far as what we need to do to prepare for hurricane season. This upcoming Saturday, I can do everything, but it comes to a point where you as the citizens need to understand that policies and procedures dictate to you locally how you live. And you need to understand one thing, the person who will represent you is not a person that's saying relevant, but has been doing the work. And that's what separates me from other candidates. Didn't see anything negative about it. I just know how to go out, find solutions, and do what's necessary. Ask the next
will never give them up. I will advocate and I will always fight for you. Thank you.
How I plan to get more than 12% of the district vote is very simple, one word, and that's hope. You know, I think our district, we've lost that. You know, you all are great in here tonight, but there's a whole other 40,000 people in the community that aren't in here, they aren't engaged. And I think that people are used to seeing the same thing and they're really looking for a real change. And I really think that I represent that change. I come from, you know, there's a lot of college graduates and all of those things in here, but I'm not that. You know, I'm from the hard knocks, you know, working and grinding, making it happen, but I'm about excellence and I'm about success. And I'm about getting out there and knocking on the doors and talking to the people and letting them know that something different is about to happen. There's a change that's going to happen. There's somebody that really cares about the people. I'm not going to sell the people out. I'm not going to take the money from people and, you know, and not deliver to my constituents. I'm going to walk around in the neighborhoods and I want people to walk up to me and say, hey, Mr. Hope, you're doing a great job. Hey, Mr. Hope, I see the change that you're making. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm all about. If I can't do that, then I don't want the job. And it's just that plain and simple. Remember, vote Hope, because I'm going to bring Hope back to District 5.
Well, first, thank you all again for being here tonight. And my response to that question is, back in 2020, I went around to all the neighborhoods in my district serving as a state representative because we had the hardest and lowest turnout when you talk about the census. And we know that the census is so important when you talk about funding for our communities. And it only comes around once every 10 years. So I'm not a stranger to my community, to going out, knocking on doors and talking to voters. And at the end of the day, that's what this is going to take to get people out. So I've done the work. I'm not asking you to come to me. I'm not afraid to come to you. And when you talk about somebody who's had experience as a legislative aide, as a member of the State House of Representatives, as an aide in District 5, you're having somebody that is experienced and that can walk the walk. We got a lot of talk tonight, but you have somebody that can walk the walk because I walk the halls, I walk alongside leaders, and I can bring resources home. I really care about this community. I'm a resident of this community. I will be a resident of this community, no matter what happens after this election. And all I can ask for is your confidence in me, because there's nothing that I can do alone. We have a lot of work to do together, and I'm asking you to have support and confidence in Charles McCurdy, a trusted name, somebody with integrity that has served and represented you, to allow me to continue the legacy that has been started, and somebody on day one that is ready. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. I want to just thank everyone for coming out tonight. Just to answer that question, how we going to do it? Really just by trying. That's all I've been doing for the past 8 years. I don't have a grand plan or even a catchphrase to tell you. All I can tell you is check my track record. For 8 years, I've been out here before this election, and I'll be out here afterwards. We've been doing protests, we've been doing social justice, we've been doing rallies. If you were out here in 2020 and 2021 when we were protesting for George Floyd, and you saw the potential that the city has, you saw when the houses flooded. It's not that people don't care, it's that they don't think things are changing. What I want to do to help bring the more votes out is show them change. They got to know that when they vote, it's not falling on deaf ears to somebody who's going to get that election, get in office, we'll never see them again. You got to go with somebody you've been seeing. You've been seeing me. You've been seeing me doing protests, you've been seeing me helping the community. You might see me tomorrow in the neighborhood helping somebody randomly. And that's what you need. You need a servant. Because we don't need somebody who's going to get in there and just profess what they know. We need somebody that you can trust behind the closed doors, when people are offering them deals and people are trying to sway them another way, and they're going to stand their ground, they're going to come back to you, and they're going to show you what's right. So when it comes down to elected and getting more people out the vote, they got to know their votes are not going to the same old. I'm not the same old. I'm not going to play with them, and no one's going to play with me, and I'm going to fight for District 5. You better believe that.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play the telephone game. And I heard everyone in this room to call 10 people, text 10 people, and that's how we're going to increase the vote. You have to encourage people why you're going out and why you're getting out. So your why tonight is why you should vote for Shan Rose, because I have the experience experience, both the work experience from City of Orlando and now the Town of Eatonville Community Development Agency Director, where I'm bringing the Black History Museum right here in this community. That isn't just for Eatonville, it's for the entire community to celebrate our history. I have the educational experience. I have a master's degree in public administration, I have a bachelor's degree in business management, and I have an associate's from the Great Town alumni in general studies. So I have the education. So we talk, that's the second form of experience. The third is real life experiences. When my husband was killed in this community by gun violence, I didn't stop fighting for this community. I continue to create ways and policies for us to make this a safe community. Not just for everyone, especially for our kids, our seniors, everyone in this community. When I participated in Lights on Economy study is how do people come into downtown and they get home safely? I didn't have that opportunity when my husband was killed. Life experiences. When I lost my son to health conditions, I didn't stop advocating. I didn't give up. What you will have in me is someone who is triumphant, someone who is going to stand with you and is going to help you get through whatever it is that you're going through. I get calls right now as a candidate and as a nonprofit leader on how do I get jobs. I'm helping people get jobs. I'm helping people with housing. So what you have in me is someone with experience who's going to take the experience, the knowledge, and the city of Orlando. I don't have to learn the job. I don't have to learn the relationships. I know the directors. I know who is working here. And you have someone who's going to have your back that's going to continue to champion so that everyone can live, work, and play District 5. Vote Shan Rose.
How I'm going to get the 12% vote is because I'm bringing something new. How we get that 12% vote is, what I'm bringing is something new and different. No one has the experience with credit restoration. Credit is needed in today's time. Whether you want to be a homeowner, whether you want to purchase a new car, whether you want to qualify for an apartment. What I bring has not been done in District 5 yet. And let me as District 5 Commissioner, because with my experience, I know how to put together a team, allocate funds, and make tough decisions. Vote Takesha Ellison on election day.
How I plan to get more than 12% of the vote on May the 21st and beyond is I'm going to challenge you right now to look to your left, look to your left, look to your right. Only a few people did it, but the ones who did, you're going to lead by example. I'm going to lead by example. That's how I'm going to intend to get 12% of the vote out. We are here tonight because we care about our community, right? And so being that we are here in D.E. Jones High School, and because we're in a school environment, I'm going to give you some homework. I'm going to ask you to please go to 5 of your friends who you know are voters, and maybe a few people, young people especially, who are not voters. If there are 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who you know who are not engaged as voters, please ask them to register to vote. They won't be able to vote for this election, but they will be able to vote in August and November. So please ask them. So that is how I intend to do so. And with that, I plan on working with the community, standing with the community, showing up for the community. I'm in a period of grief right now, but I'm here because I'm showing up for this community. I have heart for this community. You gotta have muscle to be the District 5 Commissioner or any other commissioner. And my biggest muscle is my heart, so that's what I'm going to do for my community. I ask for your vote on May 21st, and I look forward to seeing a whopping 20% going through the polls on election day.
As we end our program this evening, can we get a round of applause for our panelists for their discussion? As well as our candidates who are endeavoring to lead this community. Before we all go, I have some very important dates. We are here because it is important to get to the ballot box. So early voting will start Monday, May 13th and go through Sunday, May 19th. And election day will be Tuesday, May 21st. What day is election day? May 21st. What day is election day for everyone walking outside? May 21st. Thank you. And last but not least, if we can get a round of applause for the audience, for every single person here endeavoring to make a difference in their community, you will make a difference on May 21st. So again, thank you for being here. Get home safe and God